to the Melancholy Guy Talks Recovery, Living with Addiction. This is a companion podcast to my life, The Melancholy Guy, daring to be black, open, and free. The adventures of a divorced, open, polyamorous African American male living in recovery. I am the Melancholy Guy, Calvin, or CPJR if you know me. And today I definitely believe that change I must or die I will. My blog can be found at melancholyguy.tumblr.com. Okay, so let's get it popping. Today is February 13th. And this episode is going to be Back to the Beginning, Part 3. And we're going to be talking about my past with substances that we've been talking about since the last two previous episodes. First, I want to say happy Valentine's Day. Tomorrow will be the 14th. This will probably be out tonight, but most people probably won't listen to it. If you do listen to it, until tomorrow or possibly after that. So I'm going to take the time to wish you a happy Valentine's Day, whether you are in a relationship or not. I think it's just great to celebrate love, right? That's what we're all here for, I would hope. That's what I'm here for. So I guess I want to talk about the podcast a little bit and some housekeeping things. So I guess I've got it down to a science now. I'll be doing the podcast 2 times a week, probably on Thursday and Sunday. Hopefully I'll be home Sunday night. Also, I want to talk about my job situation. Yeah, I got an second interview coming up real soon. Excited about that. And it's with a very exciting company. And I also must say that today is day 26 for me since the last time I did my drug of choice. I'm feeling good about that. I'm slowly but surely getting in touch with my feelings again. And it's feeling really great to be in recovery. I'm doing online meetings with NA, and I'm also, connecting with some old friends. One in particular, you'll probably hear about later. But, things are looking good. I just want to stay keeping myself moving in the right direction for recovery to fully take effect. Like I said, I'm just in the beginning. It's like I'm doing abstinence right now. So hopefully soon recovery will catch in, and then I'll move to the next stage of actually being fully in recovery, and then it'll be all about relapse prevention. So let's go back in the time I have remaining. Just remember, if you've been listening to the show, I'm doing 15-minute segments right now because of my time restraints and my monetary restraints. I only put up 15-minute shows, which I'm going to continue to do. Until I can do more, or if I get a Patreon or some Patreons to help me out with that. So if that information, if you want to be a patron, can be found in the show notes. But if not, like I said, I just keep on pressing on with what I got. So I think we'll get to the show content. I was talking about how my early use of substances through the beginning of my life, first with alcohol, then with marijuana, and dabbling with some PCP, how that kind of set up the relationship, my relationship with substances, how I think that this is a feelings disease, and how by learning early in my life that the use of substances can always make you feel good. So no matter what or how you're feeling great, substances make you feel better. You're feeling bad, substances make you feel good. So basically, the go-to, people always want to feel good. So substances are always there to help that. Like I was a partier, I was a tripper. So that was my life and lifestyle. I was in that subculture for a long time. And I talked about marijuana, how I don't think it's a drug, how I don't think we use it properly or are taught to use it properly, or even have experimented with it properly. It's going to be interesting to see how what happens after it's legalized on the federal level, what's going to happen with that. I'm very interested in it. Um, so we'll see. So I also want to talk about me and alcohol because that's another thing that I think I probably have abused it. It wasn't like that's not my drug of choice. So basically, if you ever dealt with addicts or have dealt with addicts, they'll always talk a lot about their drug of choice. So basically, your drug of choice, not that you choose, this. I'm gonna pick heroin to be my drug of choice. It's the drug. It's actually the drug that chose you. It's the drug that takes takes control of you, the one that you go to get high, the one that when you get that urge or compunction, that drive to use, that'll be your go-to. So there also will be other drugs you use, like sort of like maintenance drugs. Sometimes if you're not in a full relapse state, meaning that you're using your drug of choice all the time, you'll sometimes addicts will switch. They'll just drink, or they'll just smoke marijuana, or they'll just do whatever to get by until they can get to their drug of choice, or until their drug of choice comes back up. So I think for me, alcohol was one of those drugs. I definitely have. There have been a times that I did drink a lot. I talked about it a lot. I talked about it some in my previous series of podcasts when I was talking about ethical non-monogamy. How we used to drink a lot, and it was just something that we did or I did on a regular basis. Didn't think about it, but it was I definitely just would just drink. And I didn't, me myself, like, I don't have one drink. I was talking to a friend tonight who went to happy hour and she said she just had one drink. And I don't remember a time that I would ever go to happy hour or a party or anything and just get one drink. It's just not in me. It just wasn't, not say that it wasn't desirable. It was just something that I would not do because I had to get the effect that I wanted. And the effect that I wanted was to be drunk because that's just how my psyche works. It's not like I'm just gonna go and get a little loose or something like that. Although that can, but I will want to get drunk. You know what I'm saying? That's and what's different about me right now is that I'm recognizing that. I'm recognizing that. So when I was in college, I probably drank a lot, drank more than I did anything else. There was another substance that I'll talk about later in the story. But when I went to college, I first went to community college, and I was up here in Maryland, and I still had access to all my marijuana buddies, and still smoked a lot. Um, like I said, just to smoke. That's what I did. So that was just a part of the culture I was in and what I did, and I still smoked and still went to work, school, all that kind of stuff. But then when I went to college, I wasn't around that circle anymore. So then I was around the circle that drank a lot. So me being the good addict that I was or that I am, I just picked that up and I drank, and I don't like the effects of alcohol on my body, on my system, but I will drink. Alcohol gives you hangovers. It just does something, makes you feel bad, and you have to recover from the next day. That's something that I just don't like. But something I did put up with for a lot, just being an addict. That's what you do. You put up with the side effects to get the effect. And in fact, remember, I already said this is a feelings drug, a feelings disease. So, I put up with the effects because I had to change my feelings. And once you get to doing that, you're gonna always keep doing it. I don't think you have to be an alcoholic or an addict to do that. You could just be someone that abuses alcohol. If you're using it to change your feelings on an everyday basis or a consistent basis, that's something that you may want to look at. I don't know. Like I said, I'm not here to judge anybody or anything, but that was definitely something that I did to get by if I wasn't in full like relapse mode of using. I would drink. So it's like for me going forward, like I never want to drink again. I don't really see the need to drink again because I don't want to relapse. Like I said, relapse prevention is the name of the game for me once I get into full recovery mode because I'm scared to use. I never want to use again. So that's going to be pretty much it for this episode. Basically, I'm just saying that from marijuana to alcohol. And then while I was in college down in Alabama, I got introduced to something else, and I'll talk about that on next episode. Just me, I have a long, like, there's not a drug log, but it's just a stepping, a way to show how I went from one to another. Like, active addiction is a part of my life, and it's something that I have to always watch out for, and it's something that I didn't always watch out for because I didn't think it was a problem, and it was definitely a problem. All the way through my life, I should have been trying to stop the active addiction and the behavior, and I always thought that I could on my own, or that it would just stop. So, you know, I put that out there for, if you're dealing with something like this, you may want to look at that. So I just want to take a moment to recognize the still suffering addict. If you need help, please go and get help. I know that, you may not want to be doing what you're doing. You may want to get clean. You may want to get healthy again. And you can if you get help, or just, decide that you don't want to use anymore. You probably know what you need to do to stop. So, I ask that you please do that. And you never have to use again, one day at a time. So with that, I'm going to wrap it up. I'll see you next time. Always remember to love and respect yourself first, and everything else will take care of itself. Peace and namaste.